Hi, everyone. Ken Briggs here, back with another current history quick take. So, the UAE just quit OPEC. After 59 years of membership, they're out as of May 1st. And look, you're going to see a lot of coverage framing this as an Iran war story. The UAE got hit by Iranian missiles. They're siding with the US and Israel. They're making a geopolitical statement. All of that is true, but that misses the bigger thing happening here. The UAE leaving OPEC isn't really about the war. The war just gave them the cover to finally do what they've been wanting to do for years. Here's the background. OPEC, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, was founded in 1960. The whole idea is simple. Oil-producing countries get together, agree on how much each of them will produce, keep supply tight, and keep prices high. It's a cartel in the economic sense. Saudi Arabia has always been the dominant player, the one with the most production capacity, the most leverage, the loudest voice in the room. The UAE joined in 1967, and for a long time, the arrangement worked. But over the past several years, Abu Dhabi has been on an absolute tear, investing in their oil infrastructure. So they spent $150 billion building out their capacity. Today, they can produce 4.85 million barrels a day, and they're on track to hit 5 million by 2027. That's a lot of oil. The problem? Under their OPEC quota, they were only allowed to pump about 3.2 million barrels a day. So they've built this massive machine, and they can only run it at two-thirds capacity. Every barrel they're not allowed to pump is money sitting in the ground, and they know that window isn't open forever. This is where the Saudi-UAE split gets interesting, because these two countries have completely different theories about the future of oil. Saudi Arabia's bet is keep production capped, keep prices high, milk the system for as long as possible. The UAE's bet is almost the opposite. Oil demand is going to peak, probably within the next decade or so, and then start a long decline as the energy transition accelerates. So if you're sitting on a massive reserve of cheap to produce oil, the smart move isn't to wait your turn in a quota system. Smart move is to pump as much as you can now while the world still wants it. Sell everything before the bottom drops out on demand and price. That's a fundamentally different game than what OPEC has been playing. Now, the short-term impact is basically zero because the Strait of Hormuz is still throttled by Iran, and nobody's shipping much out of the Gulf anyway. But once that resolves, analysts expect the UAE to ramp up fast. From roughly 3.2 million barrels a day, they want to get to 5 million. That's an extra 1.6 million barrels a day hitting world markets. That's significant. And here's the domino question everyone's now asking. Who's next? The UAE isn't the first country to leave OPEC. So have Qatar, Angola, Ecuador, and Indonesia. But the UAE is different. They're the third biggest producer in the group, and one of only two members with meaningful spare capacity. Losing them makes OPEC smaller and weaker. Other countries have reason to leave as well. Iraq has its own long history of cheating on quotas. Kazakhstan, which is in the broader OPEC Plus group, has also struggled to comply. The political cost of leaving just got a lot lower now that a major player has walked. One analyst put it bluntly, going forward, OPEC will be an ever more Saudi-dominated organization, and that could push even more members toward the exit. What does a weakened OPEC mean for the rest of us? In the long run, more oil on the market means lower prices and less volatility. Good for consumers, good for economies that import energy, but it also means the world loses one of the few mechanisms to cushion a supply shock. When something goes wrong, OPEC's spare capacity has historically been the buffer. That buffer just got thinner. The bottom line here is this. The UAE's exit is the latest sign that OPEC's grip on global oil markets has been loosening for a while. U.S. production has surged by more than 8 million barrels a day since 2015. Non-OPEC supply keeps growing, and now one of the cartel's most capable members has decided that pumping freely is more worth more than the price stability the cartel offers. Is OPEC dying? Probably not tomorrow. Saudi Arabia still has enormous leverage and will keep the lights on. But the organization that once held the world economy hostage during the 1973 oil crisis, that version of OPEC has been fading for years. This week just made it a little more official.